Okay, welcome back to the session. I think still only 50%. Kavinder Singh.
यस सर।
हाँ, आप जो सवाल पूछा था ना, फॉर एग्जाम्पल
Right,
ये
right.
अपना इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड है, इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड 2925, इट इज 1984 रिलीज हुआ है। इसका स्पेसिफिकेशंस ऐसा होता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो भी हेलमेट आप परचेज करने के समय वो मीडियम होना, स्मॉल होना, लार्ज हेलमेट होना, वो प्लस और माइनस टॉलरेंस रहेगा ऐसा, ठीक है ना?
राइट सर।
ये तो
सर
इसको
इसका वेट सर क्या किया जाता होगा, मतलब एक पार्टिकुलर हम लोग हेलमेट का वेट रखते होंगे ना, ज्यादा
इधर देख लीजिए,
weighted?
400 ग्राम्स रहेगा। इट शुड नॉट एक्सीड 400 ग्राम्स एज पर द इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड। इट शुड नॉट एक्सीड 400 ग्राम्स।
राइट सर।
ओके, इट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड। इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड के हिसाब से अपना सेफ्टी हेलमेट इसी डायमेंशंस में होना चाहिए। ओके, इफ यू सी अदर स्टैंडर्ड व्हिच इज टॉकिंग अबाउट, these are other dimensions. For example, if you talk about any OSHA is talking about 29 CFR, and there is an ANSI standard. It is also US standard, ANSI Z89.1 2009, and also European standard 397. इतना दो स्टैंडर्ड से ये हेलमेट के बारे में बात कर रहा है, ठीक है? इसको क्या क्या टेस्ट करता है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इम्पैक्ट करेगा, पेनिट्रेशन का टेस्ट करेगा, और शॉक अब्जॉर्प्शन, इन तीनों टेस्ट करता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, पेनिट्रेशन फ्रॉम 1 मीटर, ये तो 3 kg का वेट डालेगा और एक 5 kg का वेट डाल के इसका अब्जॉर्प्शन का टेस्ट करता है। आप जो मेरे को पूछा कि हेलमेट का वैलिडिटी किधर रहता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपको हेलमेट को घुमाएगा ना, ये पीक है ना, इसको पीक बोलता है। हेलमेट का आगे थोड़ा पीक आता है ना एक्स्ट्रा, इसको पीक बोलता है। इस पीक में आप उसका पीछे देखेगा ना, ये सिंबल आप देखा होगा, इसमें उसका मॉडल नंबर रहेगा, इधर तो डेट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग रहेगा, ये भी मंथ है कब मैन्युफैक्चर हुआ है, कौन सा ईयर में, कौन सी मंथ में ये मैन्युफैक्चर हुआ है, और इसमें साइज भी मिलेगा, व्हाट इज द रेंज विच साइज यू हैव परचेज्ड।
హలో సార్
హలో
సార్
అది నేను చెప్పండి
సార్ సార్ కొంచెం తెలుగు చెప్పండి సార్. తెలుగు ఇంగ్లీష్ హిందీ అర్థం కాదు.
అవునా, ఓకే ఓకే, ఏం లేదు. ఇది వచ్చేసి మనకి హెల్మెట్ అనేది ఎలా మనము లైఫ్ టైం అడుగుతున్నారు, ఎన్ని రోజులు హెల్మెట్ వాడాలి అన్నదానికి ఇది వచ్చేసి ఇండియన్ స్టాండర్డ్లో మనకి IS 2925 అని చెప్పేసి ఇండియన్ స్టాండర్డ్ ఉంది. అందులో మనకి ఇలా స్పెసిఫికేషన్స్ ఇచ్చారనమాట, హెల్మెట్ సైజులు ఇవన్నీ. దాని తర్వాత హెల్మెట్ అనేది మినిమం మనకి 400 గ్రాముల కంటే ఎక్కువ బరువు ఉండకూడదు అంటున్నారు, అదొక రిక్వైర్మెంటు. ఇవి వచ్చేసి మినిమం రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్, స్టిక్కర్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఉంటాయి, అవన్నీ మామూలే. తర్వాత ఇది వచ్చేసి ఇండియన్ స్టాండర్డ్స్తో పాటు వేరే స్టాండర్డ్ కూడా ఉంది. ఏంటి? ఓషా 29 ఒక స్టాండర్డ్ ఉంది, ఆక్యుపేషనల్ హెల్త్ అండ్ సేఫ్టీ. తర్వాత ANSI స్టాండర్డ్ ఒకటి ఉంది, ఇది వచ్చేసి ఈ రెండు వచ్చేసి US స్టాండర్డ్. తర్వాత EN వచ్చేసి యూరోపియన్ స్టాండర్డ్ 397, ఇది వచ్చేసి 390 2012. A safety helmet or hard hat are required to pass certain tests to be ensure దే ఆర్ ఫిట్ విత్ ద పర్పస్. అంటే ఈ హెల్మెట్ అనేది యూరోపియన్ స్టాండర్డ్ కానీ ఇండియన్ స్టాండర్డ్ కానీ ఈ 3 టెస్టులు చేస్తారు. ఏమేమి టెస్టులు చేస్తారంటే, ఇంపాక్ట్ ఒకటి చేస్తారు, విచ్ మీన్స్ షాక్ అబ్జార్ప్షన్. తర్వాత పెనట్రేషన్, పైనుంచి ఏదన్నా షార్ప్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఆల్సో దే విల్ డూ. తర్వాత చిన్ స్టాప్స్ ఆల్సో చెక్ చేస్తారు, అబ్జార్ప్షన్ ఒకటి చెక్ చేస్తారు. ఇవి మనం చేసే టెస్ట్లు అనమాట. ఏ టెస్ట్ అయినా కూడాను, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ద టెస్ట్ సెంటర్ హ్యావ్ ఎన్ పీస్ ఆఫ్ కిట్ దట్ పెర్ఫార్మ్ ద టెస్ట్. ద హెల్మెట్ ఈస్ placed on a head-shaped mold which has a load detector on it. The 5 kg rounded striker, ఇది వచ్చేసి ఇలాంటి రౌండెడ్ స్ట్రైకర్ ఈజ్ డ్రాప్డ్ ఆన్ ద హార్డ్ హ్యాడ్ ఫర్ ది హైట్ ఆఫ్ 1 మీటర్. 1 మీటర్ హైట్ నుంచి ఒక తల లాంటి మౌల్డ్ ఉన్న దాని మీద హెల్మెట్ పెట్టి పైనుంచి వదిలేస్తారు. దెన్ దే విల్ చెక్ ద లోడ్. ద లోడ్ సెల్ ఈజ్ రికార్డ్ ద ఫోర్స్ ట్రాన్స్మిటెడ్ త్రూ ద సేఫ్టీ హెల్మెట్ అండ్ ద హెల్మెట్ టు పాస్. ద ఫోర్స్ మస్ట్ నాట్ బి ఎక్సీడ్ 5 న్యూటన్స్. అంటే ఏదైతే ఫోర్స్ పైనుంచి వచ్చిందో అది 5 న్యూటన్ పర్ కేజీ కంటే పెరగకూడదు. అండ్ ద టెస్ట్ ఈస్ డన్ ఫర్ సెవెరల్ టైమ్స్ అండ్ ఇంక్లూడ్స్ ద హై అండ్ లో టెంపరేచర్స్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ ద హెల్మెట్ శాంపిల్ దట్ హ్యావ్ బీన్ ఇమ్మర్జ్డ్ ఇన్ వాటర్ అండ్ ఎక్స్పోజ్డ్ టు UV రేస్. అలా దాన్ని హెల్మెట్ని టెస్ట్ చేస్తారు. సేమ్ పెనట్రేషన్ అంతే. పెనట్రేషన్ అంటే ఏంటంటే షార్ప్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్, ఇది ఉంది కదా, ఇది షార్ప్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ తీసుకొని అది 3 kg వెయిట్ ఉన్నది, ఓకేనా. ఇది అబ్జార్ప్షన్ అయితేనేమో 5 kg, పెనట్రేషన్ అయితే 3 kg ఉన్నదాన్ని కూడా సేమ్ సిమిలర్ 1 హైట్ నుంచి వదిలేస్తారు. అక్కడ కూడా దాన్ని చెక్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. దాంతో పాటుగా దే విల్ చెక్ ఫర్ ద చిన్ స్ట్రాప్ యాజ్ వెల్. ఫర్ ద హెడ్ హ్యాడ్ దే విల్ డూ ద చిన్ స్ట్రాప్, బట్ ఆల్సో దే విల్ వెయిట్ ఫర్ I think 150 to 250 newtons. I think around some 10 minutes they will hang at this weight so that the chin strap should not be tear off. These are the some of the other standards, and there are some different types of helmets are there. Classes are there in this. Class Z, it is talking about the general helmet or tested for 2200 volts, and class E for electrical, which is tested for 20,000. And class C, it is conductive, provides no electrical protection. Class C मतलब it is nothing, ये electrical protection कुछ नहीं रहेगा. ఇది వచ్చేసి class E అంటే it has tested for 20,000 volts. Class G వచ్చేసి 2,200 volts. These are the classes of helmets. ఇందులో type 1, type 2 అంటారు. Again, industrial hard hat protection helmets meeting the requirements of these standards are classified as type 1 for the top protection, type 2 for the lateral impact protection, but both are tested for the impact penetration and the penetration resistant. And type 2 helmets perform a requirements including criteria for the impact energy attenuation from the impact from the front, back and sides as well as the top. కొన్ని హెల్మెట్స్ ఎలా ఉంటాయి అంటే మనం సమ్మర్లో టోపీలు పెట్టుకుంటా ఉంటాం, రౌండ్ మనకి ఎడ్జ్ వస్తుంది కంప్లీట్ అరౌండ్ ద క్యాప్. సో అలా కొన్ని డిజైన్ చేసి ఉంటాయి, అవి వచ్చేసి టైప్ 2. టైప్ 1లో ఏంటంటే ఓన్లీ ఫ్రంట్లో మాత్రం మనకు ఒక పీక్ వస్తుంది, అక్కడ మాత్రం మనకి ప్రొటెక్షన్ ఉండడం జరుగుతుంది. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఈస్ అబౌట్ ద హెల్మెట్. సో యూ కెన్ హ్యావ్ స్క్రీన్ షాట్స్, యూ కెన్ యూజ్ ఇట్ ఫర్ యువర్ ట్రైనింగ్ పర్పసెస్.
మరి హెల్మెట్ ఎంత వరకు వెయిట్ తీసుకుంటుంది?
ఏంటండి హెల్మెట్ వెయిట్ ఏం తీసుకోదండి. దీన్ని టెస్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఏంటంటే 5 kN దగ్గర దీన్ని టెస్ట్ చేస్తారు. అది ఎంత వెయిట్ తీసుకుంటుంది అనేది ఎనీ స్టాండర్డ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్. యా,
అంటే ఏదైనా మెటీరియల్ లూజ్ మెటీరియల్ పడతాయి కదా, ఎంత వరకు కెపబిలిటీ అనేది
అలా అడిగితే అగైన్ ఐ హ్యావ్ టు డూ సమ్ రీసెర్చ్ maximum how which will take, but they are testing for with 5 kg they are testing
5 kg and 3 kg
5 kg with 1 meter height నుంచి వాళ్ళు టెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. If you ask me how much it will take maximum అంటే నేను ఒకసారి again I have to do some research and I have to give. Definitely I'll give an answer to your question. Okay, I hope now you are clear.
అంటే పీపీ గట్ట ట్రైనింగ్ ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు వర్కర్స్ ఎంత వరకు
డెఫినెట్ గా అడుగుతారు వాళ్ళు, నాకు తెలుసు డెఫినెట్ గా అడుగుతారు ఎంత బరువు పడుతుంది. కామన్ డౌట్ ఇది, పైన నేను పెద్ద బ్రిక్ వేస్తాను, నేను బతుకుతాను చచ్చిపోతాను అడుగుతారు. I'll check and let you know. అంటే మాక్సిమం ఎంత వెయిట్ తీసుకుంటుంది అని I will inform. Okay, now we'll go to our class. It is out of the box, being Kabindar Singh has asked this question. Okay. Sorry. One second. Okay. Yeah. Again, chain pulleys. Chain pulleys, whatever the chain pulleys you're using, it had to be tested, and also they must have competent person certificate for the chain pulley blocks. Then transport vehicles and earth movers, whatever the condition of the vehicles, all the vehicles and earth moving equipment, metal handling equipment shall have a proper general provisions. For example, if the vehicle is coming backward, it should have a alert signal for the vehicle coming back, and also we need to assign a bankman, like a flagman person, to take the reverse of the vehicles and to guide the driver. And they should have a good design and sound material and construction, adequate strength, and maintained in good working order. And the principles of safety ergonomics shall be considered in the design and operation. The operators and drivers should be well trained, medically examined, physically fit, and above 18 years age, and they should have a competent, reliable, and follow the signaling codes. Whatever the signaling codes we have displayed in the site, they must be trained on that, and they must follow all the signaling codes which is displayed around the site. And help of the authorized signaler must be taken while driving backwards. As I told you, who is having authorized person as a signaling person, he must take support of that person. And they should be protected against the weather, dust, load, and being lifted and a possible accidents. Whoever the driver they are doing, and also the flagman must be protected with the proper dust and load being lifted and also possible accidents. And all the vehicle should be equipped with proper lights, horns, and the silencers, power and hand brakes, and the reversing alarm. These are the minimum checkpoints we have to check with this all the vehicles. Proper lights, it should be there. Being construction activity, it is progressing in the nights, and should have a proper horns and the silencers. If the vehicle is passing through any chemical processing or any storage tanks area, and power and hand brakes, we have to check the condition of the brakes, and also reversing alarm is there or not. Then their motors, engines and brakes, the gears and chassis, blades and tracks and wire ropes, sheaves and transmission parts, and pneumatic hydraulic system should be checked daily before use. And we should need to give a check sheet for the drivers to check the condition of this vehicle. Then power shovels or excavators. These are the key role they will play in, especially in the construction industry. And they should be equipped with emergency stop device and 2 independent locking devices for the brake pedals. And also the bucket teeth should not be come near the boom than 40 centimeters. And safe working load need to be maintained. And for the lifting gear should be displayed in the cabin, and also its indicator should be fitted. And a boom should be prevented from the swinging during the transport. While transporting the shovels, we also make sure that the boom which is there, it should not be swing, and the beam should not be pulled tight against the emergency stop while supporting a load. It should have some limit for the pulling, and the maximum the boom which is contacting with that, it must be under this limit. And the wire ropes should be a specified diameters and construction. A safe operating radius should not be exceeded. It will have some safe operating radius. It should not be extended or exceeded the safe operating radius. And also we should have a barrication wherever these excavators are working. There we should have a barrication around the excavator within the safe radius. And the shovel should be operated as not to lose their stability, and the driver should see that no person is under near the raised bucket or a grab. Operator should have a proper view. Nobody should be used. The bucket shall be kept and resting on the stable ground, not in hanging position. If you are not using this excavator, it must be properly kept in a stable ground. And the truck to be loaded and should be stationed at a 60 centimeters or more from the excavators even it turns. And the earthing and the fire extinguisher should be provided where it is necessary. Then bulldozers, as we know, bulldozers while pull the hill, the blade should kept the low. If they are coming at low side, they should be kept low, and the blade should not be used as a brake, and except in case of emergency. Sometimes if their brakes get failure, sometimes in case of other reasons, they use this blade as a brake. They should not use except any emergency. And the blade suspension arrangement, a wire rope and the hydraulic system should be inspected weekly, or we can check daily also, being it is in a hydraulic system, so they can check the condition of the brakes and also condition of the hydraulic hoses and all daily, and after every use they have to inspect. Then underground works, we are well known with this excavation. A foundation or underground support is required for the most of the constructions, and the method of reaching the earth or rock serum suitable for the foundation is excavation, because excavation is the primary or initial activity to start any construction activity. It may be with or without dewatering on the site, and out of many methods, a suitable method of excavation should be selected. Sometimes if you do excavation, the water may come in some ways the water may not come, and we should select a proper excavation method based on the type of the soil. And general precautions for the excavation or underground work are the survey of the hazards of fall of a person's soil, material, any water getting in, oil and gas, etc. And apart from that, we can check for the underground utilities, any pipelines, electrical cable, telephonic cable, any sewage water line which is going through, and adequate lighting and ventilation to supply a fresh air inside, and the controlling of gas, vapor, dust are within any safe limits. In case of any pharmaceutical company, any company is there close by, in case of any leakage of any gases and all, if it is heavier than air, it can come and settle in the pits. And also, if I am not wrong, if you are going for excavation 4.5 feet and deeper, as a best practice, they will consider as a confined space, being sometimes there will not be absence or the adequacy of oxygen may come down. Also within safe limits and the fire precaution, safety means of access and stability of the ground, position of the public utility services such as electric, telephone cables, water, gas and sewage lines must be checked, and effect of adjoining building, structure, roadways and bridges need to be also tested. And a competent person should make the survey for the giving permission to work. Apart from this, we will provide the walls of the excavation, we will give proper support within various methods. Sometimes they will do given a proper angle of cutting, otherwise they will do proper wooden supports, or they will do metal sheet supports to avoid the fall of materials or fall of the soil. And also there is a best practice, no excavated material must be dumped within 1 meter from the excavation. And also we should not allow any vehicles and the persons also near to the excavated pit. If any heavy equipment which is coming close to the excavation, there will be a chance of collapse of the adjacent sides of the excavation. And if necessary, the isolation of underground utility service should be affected by the due permission or an otherwise to be protected. In case of any chemical waste and the contamination, it is there, it should be, waste and contamination should be safely removed. In case of any chemical line it is passing through, accidentally it got damaged, whatever the spillage is happened in excavation, it must be properly removed safely. And no load vehicle or material should be moved or stacked near the edge of the excavation unless shoring or piling is done to prevent the sliding of the collapsing from the collapsing. It means no load vehicle or material should be moved or stacked near the edge of the excavation unless or otherwise you are not providing any shoring or piling. All support work such as probes and wedges etc. should be regularly checked for the deflagration or distortion, and all the sites should be fenced by the barrier at least up to 1 meter from the danger notice, and a red signal and the light be provided, especially in the nights, to notify the people. They should provide a lights at the edge of the excavations, and 1 meter we have to make a barricade. The two hard barricade we have to make. And the cutting shall be done from the top to bottom. No undercutting of the side shall be allowed. whatever the excavation you are doing, it from the top to bottom, and no undercutting should be allowed. In narrow trenches, a ladder should be extended from the bottom to top and 1 meter above the ground surface, and the erosion of the soil over excavated pits, trenches, etc. If you are putting a narrow trench, the ladder for getting inside the confined space, it must be at least 1 meter above the ground surface for easy, safe access, and should be prevented from the running water by the dewatering pumps, etc. And the road barriers at the distances should be provided. If the road barrier is blocked, helmets and gumboots should be given to all the workers inside the working. And also we should provide a proper barrier systems, and also we need to provide for the proper gumboots and helmets at the time of dewatering. In large scale excavations for the dam, huge buildings, highways, railways, etc., the accident occurs mostly due to the vehicles, dampers, trucks. Therefore, such vehicles must be checked for warning sirens, horns, lights, signals, reverse alarms, etc. The rules of the driving should be enforced. Sufficient lighting should be provided for the night works, because most of the construction and the heavy vehicle movement through the cities they will allow in the nights only. So these vehicles are highly dangerous while they are reaching to the any pits, or they are passing through any excavated pits. There will be a chance of collapse of the sites. So they must be follow the rules which is defined for the vehicular movement. And also the vehicle should have proper sirening, horns, lights and signals, and also reverse alarm. Apart from that, they should take the help of the authorized signaling person while reversing the vehicle or while they are coming backward. Then demolition. This is also one of the activity we used to do. The demolition of it is also very old technique. Is there any adjacent or existing structure is there? They will do the demolition. Very old and life ended, weak and unsafe construction because becomes a necessary, because even that is a old technique, life ended, weak or unsafe construction, it is necessary. Sometimes it is required for the new construction, alteration, addition or repair on the same site. If they want to do any alteration, modification, or they have to do in the same site, they have to do this demolition. And high risk is involved due to falling, flying of metal, working at height, or on the structure being broken. Maybe they are working at height, materials may fall. Sometimes they will use some explosives for the demolition, and also working at height, or the person is standing or they in the same level, and use of heavy hand tools and heavy blows and vibrations or sudden collapse. These are also hazards in the demolition time. Not only the workers but public passing by here also be protected. If you are doing any demolition with the explosives, and also you should take care of public who is passing through that demolition area, and proper planning, permit procedure and sequence of work, training of the workers, and the safety provision by the competent person or some of the basic requirements. Whoever is doing, they should have a proper planning. They should take the permit. Sometimes some of the demolitions which is close to any society or any social living, we should inform the local authorities for taking the permission, and we should give proper protection from the dust, flying particles, and also we should follow the sequence of work, how you are doing the demolition. And also we should give proper training on, once you do the demolition, immediately the dust will generate, so much dust will generate based on the type of the building and the height of the building and the length of the building. So how you are preventing the dust and how you are controlling the dust spreading. And also we should be take care of the flying objects. Once it is got demolished, how you are going to control the flying objects and flying material. Precautions prior to the demolition. Now we'll see what are the precautions we need to take before demolition. A definite demolition procedure should be worked after studying the entire structure and carrying out a survey of these drawings, and load bearing members, type of the foundation walls we have to check, and the chemical contents if any previous use or structural problems, ground characteristics, condition of the roof trusses, and the type of the farming used in the framing structure, and equipment sensitive to the noise or any vibration and dust. We have to check for any sensitive to the noise equipment which is sensitive to the noise, comma, vibration and dust, and radioactivity utility or any service lines or gas lines or power lines joins with this effect with the adjacent building. In case of any power lines or gas lines or any other lines which is passing through the building, that also we have to check. Then climatic conditions, etc. And also help the structural engineer is advisable. And also we have to see the climatic conditions as well before planning for demolition. And a method of demolition should be formulated. How you are going to demolish. After the above survey, he has to be recorded in a method statement after identifying the problems and their solutions. Like JSA, they have to make any method statement. What are the problems in demolition? Against what are the solution he is providing? Such a way we have to make a method statement. For all electric, gas and water other services line should be shut off or safely protected against the damage. In case of any electric lines or which is passing through or close to the demolition site, being if it is any high-rise building or 50 floor, 60 floor or 25 floor, any high-rise building, multi-stairs building, any gas lines are there underneath that or which is connecting through that. Is there any water supply which is passing through the underground under the building or any other service lines? It must be shut off and safely protect against the damage. And the plant and building should be isolated from the other plants and buildings. If it is close to any other community living is there, it must be isolated or protected. For the protection of the public, all the roads and the open areas surrounding works like danger and the safety zone should be fenced off, and the fence height at least 2 meters. If your fencing means based on the requirement of the people leaving and the risk of this demolition, it may increase the height of the fencing, but it at least minimum 2 meter should be there. And the caution boards and the dangerous sign should be displayed in the local language. Whatever the local language is there, it must be displayed. And unauthorized entry into shall be effectively controlled. And if a swinging weight ball, it is to be used for the demolition. And the width of the safety zone should be 1.5 times of the height of the structure. If you are using any swinging type ball for the demolition, it must be 1.5 times safety zone. It must be identified. It depends on the height of the structure. And if a calm shell bucket is to be used for the demolition and the safety zone of 80 meters from the line of the travel, and the bucket should be maintained. 1 second, I'll just show you one. See this video, what are the different techniques of demolition they use? It is in a demolition of a bridge. They break all the joints of the structure so that it got fall down in one shot, complete structure. See, so much dust will generate while demolition. If you are doing demolition in any public area, you should be able to control the spread of the dust. They will check for the load bearing columns. Wherever the load bearing columns are, they will break all. And they will follow the sequence also. Which detonators are have to blast first? See this tower. They blast at the bottom. This is the chimney. See how the flying parts which is flowing off. I think they're showing top view also. This is the one kind of demolition with the breakers. These are the high-rise buildings.
Joli, superbe. Superbe. Grandiose.
This is the thermal power plant. they will plan in a such a way that they can try to control the impact on the adjacent structures. See, it is in a stadium.